Hey, my name is Jeremy Bowers over at KW Philly. Thanks for watching this video today. You have interest in the listing presentation video, and I want to give you some information on how to get better at listing presentations, how to get better at picking the right person to do business with. And I wrote some notes down. How to increase the chances of listing and helping the client. The number one thing is you have to pre-qualify. You got to ask those hard questions like I just mentioned in the buyer presentation video. You got to ask the questions. Here's a great question. I had 10 questions. I was professionally trained by a company, and I've trained hundreds of people on listing presentations. Actually, a whole company's presentation. I did a video in front of everybody, and it was based on that too. Here's the thing, it's the pre-qual. It's not the price, it's the pre-qual. When you go to the doctor, it's the questions he asks and gives you the solution. It's not the price of the medical doctor visit. Same thing with the listing presentation. Everybody gets hung up on the price, it's not. They just focus on the price, so it makes the price the main thing. So for me, when I talk to someone, when I'm trying to bring someone into the brokerage, or I'm trying to raise money, or I'm trying to get a listing, I focus on the client only, and everything else resolves it. So here's what I'm gonna ask. So Mr. and Mrs. Client, I have 10 questions for you. I wanna make sure that I can help you give the right options and see if you wanna work with me. Question number one, I'll go down the list. One of the hardest questions I used to ask that worked awesome was, have you ever thought about selling the house yourself? And the reason why you want to ask that question is they're going to give you the inside track of what they want to do with that house. Number two is you're going to ask them a really hard question. Don't ask it this way, ask it the way I'm going to give it to you. So here's what most people say. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, what do you owe on the house? Why is that any of your business? Why would I tell you what your house is worth? What you want to ask is, you want to say this, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in the state of Pennsylvania, I have to do what's called estimated closing costs. And when I come out to meet you, I have to give you an estimation of what it would cost to sell your property and what you would net to sell it. Ballpark, what do you owe? 9 out of 10 times, 9.5 out of 10, they will give you the answer. So now you're going out to the listing presentation. Your appointment one is the actual pre-appointment, which is all the questions you ask them on the phone. There's about 10 questions. Will you lose some people on the phone? Yes. Will you save your life and get some time back? Absolutely. Will your business increase? Absolutely. Will you make more money? Absolutely. If you go down the seller presentation questions. Now you're going to go out and meet the person. You have all 10 questions, you understand their motivation, you understand their situation. Now you can go out and give them the proper recommendations to do what they need to do with the house. Now, I wrote some notes down. How do you know the client knows you're listening? When you're out doing the presentation, you need to make sure you do 3 things, which is repeat, affirm, and give options, okay? So you need to make sure you repeat, affirm, and give options. Let me give you an example. They say something to you, you repeat it, you affirm it, understand it, I'm gonna give them options. Sellers, people want to be heard, they don't want to be talked at. Nobody wants to be talked at, they want to be heard. So if you take that step process, repeat, affirm, give them options. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know you said that you're thinking about moving to Florida, so I just repeated and affirming. I understand why you want to move to Florida because the winters here in Philadelphia are brutal. And your options you said were you wanted to move in, August or next January. Is that correct? Yes. Now also in the option part, you can give them options on how to sell their house then. Repeat, affirm, give them options. Okay? The next tip I have is the layout of the presentation. You want to do a pre-qualification. You want to give a little bit about the company, a little bit about you, what makes you unique. Third, the marketing. Next is the negotiations. Pricing is the 5th thing, and then 6th, summary. Now here's important, this is a very, very important golden nugget. Most people go out and do a presentation and they talk about price first. So if you go out to someone and you're like, hey, listen, this suit costs, just make up a number, $50. And I walk in the store and I only want to spend $25, I'm out the door. But if that sales rep comes up to me and says, hey, what are you looking for today? He starts asking me a series of questions, finds my motivation, finds what I really want. Then when he presents me the suit, I'm not stuck on the price. So the reason why I do price last before the summary is you can get yeses along the way, so when you bring up the price, they're okay with it. See, in sales, most times it's how many no's you get if you actually really started selling someone. So if you don't have a no yet, you really haven't sold anybody, they're just comfortable with what you're offering, and they just say yes. You just got the right opportunity. I believe you haven't got someone to say 5 to 9 no's, you really haven't helped dig up some motivation and sell a person on why they need something. So now you understand the layout. The don't do mistakes, I just mentioned them, which is don't bring up price first, don't repeat, you're not listening, and you're not focusing on getting yeses. And I want to leave you with this. When you go down a presentation, the goal is to see how many yeses and nos you can get out of a person before you present the final thing. So if I went down and I said, hey, so Mr. and Mrs. Seller, about the company, we went over the company and myself. Are you comfortable with what I talked about with the company and ourselves being number 1 in market share, the amount of business I've sold? They're gonna say, yes, great. The next part we talked about in our presentation today was the marketing. Do you believe the marketing that we provide will help sell your house? They will say yes. Next, you'll say negotiations. Based upon my presentation today and my offer to you, do you believe our negotiations could help you get more money for your property? Yes. Great. Pricing. We talked about the pricing. We mentioned $400,000 to list the house. We went through the comps. You picked out, you think it should be $400,000. I agree with you. Do you believe $400,000 is the right price to sell your house? Yes. Okay. So based upon the summary of today's appointment, you agree the company can help sell your house, the marketing, the negotiations, and the pricing. Is that fair? Yes. The only thing we have to do now is sign the contract and get your house sold to get you to Florida by the time you want and to get you what you want in your bank account. Is that fair? Yes. Sign the contract. See, the difference is if you don't do that and you actually just speak to a person and you just ask them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I did the comps in your house, I think your house is worth $380. And they think it's worth $400, they're kicking your butt out. But if you go down the right process and talk about everything first and get yes, 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 get the no, no objections out, then you get to the price, it's the easy point. And when you go over that pricing, we're going to show this in the events, we're actually going to have you highlight the key figures, and you're going to actually have them speak to say yes, 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 yes. And that way they have a say in the price. See, they got to be able to say yes. This is a team effort. I hope you enjoyed today's listing presentation tips. I hope you enjoyed what we're providing at the company. It's one of the reasons why we're number 1. We have the largest training calendar in the area and across the United States, I've been told, with KW. So if you want some more information, just go out to the $1 Billion office or reach out to me at 215-370-9107. I appreciate it. Have a great day.